Just want to tell you this on a personal level. I must remind you, though you already know this, that major global conflicts have been avoided in the past few decades due to the geostrategical balance of power, which used to exist. The two super-nuclear powers essentially agreed to stop producing both offensive weaponry as well as defensive weaponry. It's simple how it works. Where one side becomes dominant in their military potential, they are more likely to want to be the first to be able to use such power. This is the absolute linchpin to international security. The anti-missile defense system, as previously prohibited in international law, and all of the surrounding agreements that used to exist. It's not in my nature to scold someone, but when the United States unilaterally withdrew from the ABM Treaty 1972, they delivered a colossal blow to the entire system of international security. That was the first blow when it comes to assessing the strategic balance of power in the world. At that time, 2002, I said that we will not be developing such systems, also because A, it is very expensive, and B, we aren't yet sure how they will work for the Americans. We are not going to burn our money. We are going to take a different option and develop offensive weaponry in order to retain said geostrategic balance. That was all, not to threaten someone else. They said, fine, our defense system is not against you, and we assume that your weaponry is not against us. Do what you like. As I already mentioned, this conversation took place in the early 2000s. Russia was in a very difficult state at that time. Economic collapse, civil war, and the fight against terrorism in our Caucasus region. Complete destruction of our military-industrial complex. They wouldn't have been able to imagine that Russia could ever again be a military power. My guess is they assume that even that which was left over from the Soviet Union would eventually deteriorate. So they said, sure, do what you like. But we told them about the reactionary measures we are going to take, and that is what we did. And I assure that today we have had every success in that area. I am not going to list everything. All that matters is we have modernized our military-industrial complex, and we continue to develop new generation warfare. I'm not even going to mention systems against the missile defense system. No matter what we said to our American partners to curb the production of weaponry, they refused to cooperate with us. They rejected our offers and continue to do their own thing. Something I cannot tell you right now publicly, that would be rude of me. And whether or not you believe me, we offered real solutions to stop this arms race. They rejected everything we had to offer. So here we are today, and they've placed their missile defense system in Romania, always saying we must protect ourselves from the Iranian nuclear threat. Where's the threat? There is no Iranian nuclear threat. You even have an agreement with them, and the US was the instigator of this agreement where we helped. We supported it. But if not for the US, then this agreement would not exist, which I consider Obama's achievement. I agree with the agreement because it eased tensions in the area. So President Obama can put this in his list of achievements. So the Iranian threat does not exist. But missile defense systems are continuing to be positioned. That means we were right when we said that they are lying to us. Their reasons were not genuine. In reference to the Iranian nuclear treaty, once again they lied to us. So they build this system, and now they are being loaded with missiles. US journalists should know that these missiles are put into capsules which are utilized from the sea-based mid-range Tomahawk rocket launchers. These are being loaded with anti-missiles that can penetrate distances of up to 500 kilometers. But we know that technologies advance. We even know in which year the American will accomplish a new missile, which will be able to penetrate distances of up to 1,000 kilometers, and then even further. And from that moment on, they will be able to directly threaten Russia's nuclear potential. We know year by year what's going to happen, and they know what we know. It's only you that they tell all tales to, and you spread it to the citizens of your countries. Your people in turn do not feel a sense of the impending danger. This is what worries me. How can you not understand that the world is being pulled in an irreversible direction? That the problem, meanwhile, they pretend that nothing's going on. I don't know how to get through to you anymore. And they justify this as a defense system, not weaponry that is used for the purposes of an offense. Systems that prevent aggression. This is absolutely not true. A missile defense system is one element of the whole system of offensive military potential. It works as part of a whole that includes offensive missile launchers. One complex blocks, the other launches a high-precision weapon. The third blocks a potential nuclear strike. and the fourth send out its own nuclear weapon in response. This is all designed to be part of one system. This is how it works in current, not nuclear, but high-precision missile defense. Well, okay, let's put aside the actual missile defense issue, but those capsules into which anti-missiles are inserted. As I've mentioned, they are sea-based on warships which can carry the Tomahawk subsonic cruise missile system. One could deploy it to position in a matter of hours, and then what kind of anti-missile system is that? How do we know what kind of missile is in there? All you have to do is change the program. Non-nuclear to nuclear. That's all it would take. This would happen very quickly, and even the Romanian government itself won't know what's going on. Do you think they let the Romanians call any shots? Nobody is going to know what is being done, not the Romanians. And the Polish won't even. Do you think I'm not familiar with their strategies? From what I can see, we are in grave danger. We had conversation once with our American partners where they said they'd like to develop ballistic missiles, but without a nuclear warhead. And we said, do you actually understand what that might entail? So you're going to have missiles launching from submarines. All ground territories, this is a ballistic. How do we know whether or not it has a nuclear warhead? Can imagine what kind of scenario you can create? But as far as I am aware, they did not go through with developing these weapons. They have paused for now. But the other one they continue to implement. I don't know how this is all going to end. What I do know is that we will need to defend ourselves. And I even know how they will package this Russian aggression again. But this is simply our response to your actions. Is it not obvious that I must guarantee the safety of our people? And not only that, but we must attempt to retain the necessary strategic balance of power, which is the point that I began with. Let me return to it in order to finish my response. It was precisely this balance of power that guarantees the safety of humanity from major global conflict. Over the past 70 years, it was a blessing rooted in a mutual threat, but this mutual threat is what guaranteed mutual peace on a global scale. How they could so easily tear it down, I simply don't know. Sure, the United States are not developing weapons for the purposes of an offensive operation. At least not that which is in the public eye. Although we know for certain that this is occurring. I'm not about to get into asking that right now. We're perfectly aware that it is happening. Okay, you're not developing it. But the facts are there is an anti-missile defense system being developed in the United States. Sure, today, it is not in working order, and we're not yet sure if it will ever be implemented. However, theoretically, it is created in order to be implemented. Again, hypothetically understand that there will be a moment in time where nuclear potential will be completely neutralized. Our current capability, can be completely neutralized by this anti-missile defense system. If this is the case, then that means the balance of power in the world will be completely upset. This means that one of the powers will feel a complete sense of security, which in turn means it can do whatever it likes not only in regional conflicts but now we are talking about its unmatched might in global conflict. This is the only food for thought. Don't let me come off like I am accusing you of something. But international relations is much like mathematics, there is nothing personal about it. Therefore we will respond accordingly, but how? We can match you in your actions and build an equally great multi-million-dollar anti-missile defense system, or taking into account our economic and financial capability in the current day, we can respond asymmetrically. So that it is clear to all that yes, there is an anti-missile defense system in Europe, but as it relates to Russia it is entirely pointless, because we have a weapon that can nullify it. This is the path that we are going to take. It works out cheaper for us, but in no way is this aggression against the United States. I fully mirror your behavior when you say that your anti-missile defense system is not targeted against us, then our new weapon is not targeted against you either.